Tiv. It actually starts on page Reish Yud Gimel. So here the Rav says like this. Let me see if I get this right. Okay, good enough. It says, "V'hine v'zoher ha'arech be'inin kavanas v'tables shel Shema Yisrael." Over there, it goes into the kavanah for the tables. V'lo nizbar kavanasa, but he doesn't explain his kavanah. Exactly what he means there. If the Zohar says that I guess they enumerate the words. I don't know what he means exactly, but he said so he wants to say that when you say the first words, he says oz ba'amiris tevis echad. So that's one of the magic words there. Niknasim bezer anpin kol hamokim shalo. All the mochin of zer anpin come in. So as a asafa, they're ended in the along with the mocha de godless comes whatever was missing in the mocha de godless. So in that one word, you have the reference there to both zachar v'nug. And there's the different reasons why the za is really referenced by the concept of ach, and the nuk os dal. So this is something that we know from the Rishash and seeing it in other places. Now where we are, so all of them receive these mochim we're talking about. You get to that, there's a yichud, and it brings in the mochim de gadlus plus the asafa of all the continents that we're missing. But there's another additional pirush on this word echad, and he said, what is that? Bir tevis echad ki osius ach ramazim al zer anpin. This refers to these two letters, aleph and ches, refer to zer anpin. Both daled remezes al arba mochim shachazam mekabel, and then the daled though refers to what's not going to be coming into zer anpin. So ach is zer anpin, and the daled refers to the four mochin that are coming into zer anpin. Then it says yakavu amayim. So that phrase yakavu amayim. Now where did this come from exactly? Benibski gam posik yakavu amayim who's so kinesis amochin. Okay, so the yakavu amayim romas al kinesis amochin. So that gathering together of the water, so to speak, is the concept of bringing together the mochin. Shehem sod hamayim b'reisha dezah, which is the concept of water into the reisha dezah. But we know that the mochin come in their Itzad's mochim are inside the nai of ima, and they crime medido the mashchasa, the kav hamida. So this is called the measure, I guess, of the flow. We had this word namashkasa before in the Idris, and I don't remember it exactly. I know that it refers to like anointing oil. So he said, medida the mashkasa the kavamida, of the measuring of the balance scale. The Sham Ne'emor b'pasuk, there you see over there, we're focusing on this pasuk, Yekavu havamayim b'tachas shemayim, so underneath, it'll go underneath the shemayim, he says, El makom echad, to one particular place. That's the pasuk. So we also explain, what does he mean that it goes to makom echad? So let's go a little bit slower here. The muach of Chochma of Zer Anpin, the Mitzad Ima, Heim Arba B'Mini Miluyim Yaakov. So we have to go back to our original concept there. So he says again, the Chochma from the side of Ima are four different kinds of. I think he said the other way. The Shemuach HaChochma, the Zav, the Mitzad Ima. Okay, Heim Arba Milui Yaakov. So he said, Gematria makom, and they come to the concept of makom. That's the one place that they go to. Now, exactly, so that's their one place. So he says, what are they? They're the mochin. And these four different types of miluyim that come from these three letters. Yesh bechem shloshos va'achas osias k'misper kale. Now that we went through that idea before. And that's what goes into Zun that we're talking about here. So in other words, this is Ima that bringing in this Shefa into Zeranpin. That the two of them together are always called Echad. This is the explanation of what the pasuk says. Shepirusho kusha hamochim hane'emer l'mala, the mochin that we're talking about, which are what? Shehem the arba milu yaku, only the Gematria makum, which come to the concept of makum. Now, let me just think about this again. He says that the mochim that are coming from up above, which are the miluim, and they come to the place called makum. So then this combination of these letters, spelling the word makom, which is 186. If I got that right, it's 186. Yeah, 186. Mamshichem al zun hanikroim echad. They go and extend themselves down into zun, which are called echad. Of a muach bebina deziran pinda b'tzad ima. Now the bina side. Yesh bechem arba miluyim aki. So that's what they are. Ve'edel arba bina miluyim aki sheyesh b'muach bina de'ima, which come out of the bina, the left side, far left side of ima. Heim Olin Gematria 570. Mispar Tako, so this number 570, who's so man the ima, this is the secret of the man of ima. Now I have to read it again because it's not clicking 100% for me. So if I don't mind, Ve'elu ha'arba mini miluyim of Aki. So this is the bina of bina. Sheyesh b'muach bina the Abba, the Ima, that's in the muach bina Abba, Haim only Gematria 570. So he said this number 570, it refers to the man the Ima. Now, I don't see the reference there. He said, but that's what it is. It refers to the man of Ima. Nima, to me, in my mind, man is a kind of like it's bubbling upwards. Even though it's going downwards, it's bubbling up. Its nature, if it says panemius, is going the other way. So he said, oh, Mizbach Betalka, this number 570 again, he says, Ashuhu Haman de Ima, Nimshach Memuach Abina de Ima, comes from the Muach of Bina de Ima, not the Bina of Bina, Hakalo Ma'arbach Bibini Meluyim, which are Aki, which have what's inside of it, the 4 different Meluyim, which are Aki. A Mizbach 570, Merames Al Chamesh Gevuros. Now, how does that work? So there's also a reference here that there are 5 Gevuros over here, coming out of the side of Ima, which is once again the Bina of Bina. She'eidor HaChamesh Gevuros, because these 5 Gevuros, Ramozim B'Chamesh Osias Mansapach. So we can see from those letters Mansapach, which is a Gematria of 280. B'Chamesh Mansapach, and then you take Mansapach and the 5 letters Mansapach, Haim Osius Kefulos Ba'alpha base. So in other words, in the alphabet, in the aleph base, that's these are the letters that are doubled. Shaharbe call Elu Hamansbach Haim Osius Pshutos, because the letters themselves are simple letters, or the Haim Gam Osius Stumos, but they're also amongst them. I guess let's go back. Pshutos means that they're let me just look at the Mansapach, that they're not enclosed in any way, but there's also a mem in there. I think that would be a stumo, ubazos, same kafulos, and for this they're doubled. I'm not sure what that meant. Do you know what that means? Haim osius kafulos ba'alpha besa, they're the letters that are doubled. Shahabe call elo hamansabach, haim osius b'shutos, because they have, in other words, they have a double. V'haim gam osius stumos. And they're also, I don't know which one is b'shutos, that's a simple one is stumos, I'm not sure which one is that. Huh?
Let's say by the mem, we would call that a stuma.
Yeah. Close. But I only see one mem, and he's got it in plural. He says osios stumos. Okay. Right. Okay, so that confused me. Anyway. Uvazos hem kafulos, and for this we see that since that you have some that are open are straight, and some of them that are closed, so therefore they're called kafulos. I think I could have said that differently. I mean, it's just they're duplicate letters, or does he mean that they come? Where exactly do you see them? You see them at the end of letters. I don't know. V'shtei pamim mansepach. So take 280 im eser osiosechem with the 10 letters. Shehem eser geburos heim olen begematria talko. Now, let me just try to think through what he just told me. As there's a lot of different switches here. So you have the concept of the four going back. If you don't mind, I'm going to go back to Reish Sadi Aleph. So he says that the Bina are four combos of Aki. Velo ha'arba mini milui Aki sheyesh b'muach Bina de'ima heim olim begematria talko. So it's referring specifically to those mochim. Now he says those moch, and then he says Mizbach Taka who's so man the ima. So that's the man of ima, right? That's what her man is going from the bottom to the top. So he says what again? He says the 570. There's these what goes up to the middle Sha'aki. So all of those are man. Mizbach Taka shehum aman the ima nimshach memuach abina the ima hakol ba'arba mini meluyaki. So going back to that again. Back to when the number 570 is really a double mansapach, going through stumos and pshutos. B'chameshos is mansapach hem osis gefulas ba'alpa besa. Shahareko, etc. We'll skip that. Go down to Rage Sadi Zayin now. B'shtei pamim mansapach. So now you have two mansapachs. So hem eser osiose with eser osiose, they come out to be the number 570. So I'm always confused when he says, sometimes he says add in the letters, sometimes he doesn't. So his remez is he wants to get to this number, the number 570, which is double mansapach. And the mansapach has to do with this number, mispar, is the man in ima. So let's go on. So we understand that mansapach in general is sweetened dinim. So maybe something I could figure out there. I don't know. So the Muach Bina of Zad that comes from Abba, Achra Chiluf, Shehem Arba Miluy Akia, which is form Miluy of Akia. He says, Haim only Gematria 616. So he said, what's pshat over here? Because Shechem Mitzarfim Od Arba, so add another 4 onto it, you got 620. Connected Mispar Kolel Shal Arba Hashemo. So he's using these devices to be able to make sense, or to make sense for us. Shal Arba Shemo Shal Arba Miluya Akia. So he says once again, they go together and they come to Arba Shemos Shal Arba Miluya Akia. Ozheim Olim Kasser. So then the Gematria now is Kasser, which is 620. Now he says, Ki Kishimitzarfim Tario in Arba. So if you put that together with the concept of 4, so you put that together with the 4, which is the Gematria of the count of the Akia, Hare Haim Olim Yachda Begematria Kasser. Shar Kasser Tezecha Bebalom B'tzad Ima. So in a sense, the Kasser of Zer Anpin comes from that second penetration of Ima, and where her tani, or her teferis, that part of her teferis, rests on top of his head. He said, Ima, Arbis and Meluyim the Akia. So now what's happening now? These 4 Meluyim of Akia, Shehem Hoyu B'Techida B'Chachma B'Zer Anta B'Tzad Ima. They were originally in the Chachma of Ima. The Zag that's going to the Zag that's coming from Ima. But La'achar HaChiluf, Hey B'Bina the Abba, they come into the Bina of Abba. Sheba'archin Hu Gam Nikra Ima, because relatively speaking, it's Imadik. So it has a little bit of Ima. Ve'elach HaMochen Daika, Ima Arba HaKolodim, so these Mochen, if you take the 4 Kolodim, that is a kolol of that is you're counting each of the Akias, then not the 4 letters of the Akia, which I said before. He says you count the 4 Akias. Haim Olim b'Misbir Kasser. Muach HaChasadim the Das. So he says now the Muach HaChasadim the Das. the das the mitzad ima lifnei hachiluf shehem arba mini milui aku. So now we'll go to this one. After the hiluf hamochin naasim arba chabini milui aku. So then after the hiluf, let me read again. She'achra achiluf hamochim, these mochin naasim arba mini milui aku. Much gevura the das the zad. They make the left side of the center of the mochin of zaz the mitzad abba. Ve'eloch ha'arba chabini miluyim aku. So these 4 miluyim of aku heim olim Gematria 555. I got that right? 555. So he said, what does this do for me? The shlosh pa'amim kale b'miluya kazeh. So take kale like this. We got 555, right? And so you take 185, 185, and 185. 3 times 185. What does it come, the Gematria come to be? Heim Gematria 555 kamisbar arba milui aku, which is the same count. That 555 is the same count as you go to the 4 miluyim of aku. Uva arbas milui aku. So then when we come to the 4 miluyim of aku, shehem hagavura dezah, which are the gavura of zer antem mitzad abba. So again, these miluyim of aku, they represent the agavura de zer anpin. That's the left side of the middle of zer anpin, the mitzad abba coming in from abba. La'achar chiluf amochin, after the chiluf malochim. Elu choyu kodem chiluf amochin, before the chiluf. Chesed zad shemitzad ima. They were originally on the imadika side, but they were the chesed that's going to go into zah from ima. So since these 4 miluyim of aku, they are in the chesed zah, they originally came from the chesed of ima. So therefore, we see that they come in to be 3 times kale. That's 185 times 3, which is 555. Kavan Sheshem Kale Hu B'Chesed, because it's all Chesed, and so therefore it's coming from there. All right, he's going to call me. That's all I could do. All right, now, see, personally, these things get very far afield for me. I'm reading what he's saying. I try to see what's the bottom line over here, and all these different combinations, try to figure out where we're going here. But let's go on, and we'll finish out this piece and see what we could do. So let's look at this. Also, these 3 times that we say the word kale, Ramozin besod shlosha kale asher b'shemos kale shakai. It's a reference to this. These different names, kale havaya, kale adni. Okay, excuse me. She'ela shlosh shemos hein b'shlosha olamos bia. These 3 names, the kales, really refer to different aspects of olam bia ba'ofen zeh. That kale shakai hu ba'olam abriya. Kale havaya is olam tzira. The Kale Adni hu olam siya. So the 2 of them I could darshan myself. The first one, where it says Kale Shakai, he says this refers to Bria. Fine. He said Kale Havaya because Havaya refers to olam Yetzira, hu olam Atzira, and Adni refers to olam Asiya. So the Moach Agavuras the Das, the Mochin the Zaz, so the Mochim Agavuras the Das that come into Zer Anpin, the Mochin, the Zer Anpin, the B'tzad Abba, that are coming into him from Abba, the Kodem Mechipel that were either before the Chiluf, Shehem Arba Mini Miluyim Aqua. So if that's what they were, 4 different kinds of Miluyim of Aqua. She'achra Achiluf HaMochin, that after you come to the switch in the Mochim, Na'asim Arba Miluyim Aqua, then you make these 4 Miluyim, right? And it makes the mochin of the chesad the das zer anpin. Ve'lo ha'arba milui aqua heim olim begematria 575. So he says, what is this all about? 575. So we had just had 555, and we're coming to 575. Behem sod shtei pamim osios matzapach. So what is this? This is the concept of the two of matzapach is 280 times 280 is 560. V'chatam shemachshavim shtei pamim matzapach. So why are we counting this anyway? Mishum she'osios matzapach. It's because these letters matzapach is a hein osios kefulos, as we said before. Sheyesh matzapach va'osios ostumos. So I guess I don't know. He means that one is that there's simple letters and just regular letters, and then also there's the doubles, and he calls them stumos. And mitzarfin dimachim eser osius the shtei pamim matzapach. You add on to that the 10 letters that refer to double matzapach. So now you got 570. Only yachta b'gematria toko, which is 570. So then, then you take the letters themselves, Shehena Gevuras Omedet B'tzad Small, Nechlalos B'chamesh Osius Matzapach Sheb'tzad Yamin, they're also part of the Matzapach that's on the right side. Shehem Yosef B'chidah Chasadim, which are even more chesed. The Mitzarf in the Mizpar 570 gets to the number 570, Esachamesh, and you take the 570, and you take the 5 letters themselves, Shehem Yosef Chasadim, which are more, represent more Chasadim, Harei Heim Olim B'Gematria Tafel, this is your 575, Shehem Kamispar Arba Milui Aqua. So all of these things, I don't have an innate mathematical mind. So I'm sure that this really makes a lot of sense to someone, but to me, it's all of a construct, and the construct seems like he knows the construct. He's telling us, telling it to us how these things match up, but I don't have a great feel for it. That's pardon me. So let's finish it out. And this is of Yediyah Bezuch Shashinidu Shalamochim Beschalpin and Besmall the Yamin and Yamin the small. So we talked about these switches. Az Yuvon Heich Gam Biyad Yamim Shuhu Chesed. So then you can understand the right side, which is Chesed. Im Kazer Yesh Bo Chamesh Osius Matzabach. But even so, in that Chesed, it has the 5 letters Matzabach in it. V'halo Matzabach Heim Chamesh Gevuros. So how is it that you get something with Gevura on the left side, on the right side rather? Akbir ha'inyan. Now we're coming hopefully to a punchline. He says Akbir ha'inyan who the kaven should the that since that at the beginning, before we come to the switch, the Mansapach was in the place of the Gevuras the Zer Anpin the B'tzad Abba. So in other words, it's on the left side of the center of Abba. Abba is, of course, Chesed. Umakomo hu b'tzad small, and its place is really on the left side of Abba. But then there's a switch. It becomes the a Chesed. A Chesed, but where in Ima. So he said, what's the words? He says the left side of the right becomes the right side of the left. So there you see its place moves to the right. So he says, "Call bechinas hamochin shel zer anpin makablim." So all of these mochin which zer anpin receives, hey mitzad shemus hamochin shel makabel lezecha b'tzad ima. They're from the names of the mochin that Jav Gabs receives from the side of Abba. V'hein osam hamochin shel makabel lezecha b'tzad ima. So all of that. So ad atan is bio rock inyan amochanik nasa bezasa. Up to this point, we've only talked really about what we can understand of the mochin, and I guess all of that mathematics that we did, all this the addings of the different types of parts. I think it really has to start. It really requires more eon on my part to see the flavor of what the tom really of what the Rav is trying to get at by showing us all of these different parts and how they mathematically add up. So it's ad atan is bio rock inyan amochanik nasa bezecha be'ez and miras pasuk Shema Yisrael. Daika be'ez kriya shema. So that's where we got. Now we're going to get into more words, more ideas, and go on from there.